Yeah, that's just a recent announcement. They actually
Mm.
pulled the pin on the whole studio too, actually.
Oh shit, my microphone just came out.
Disconnected.
You hear
But
me?
yeah, they pulled, yeah, you sound good. They pulled the pin on their whole company that
Wow,
was making the game and the game. So,
that's pretty crazy.
that's oh, just yeah, announcement. They actually pulled the pin on the whole studio too, actually.
Oh shit, my
Why am I
microphone.
hearing why am I hearing my reverb?
No, it's all good. It's all good. I think we're all good now. That
All right,
was
cool.
my bad. I'm just checking to make sure we are live. We are definitely live, which is positive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I don't even know how to do this intro.
Don't even know how to start this
It's
week week two of our tier list.
yes, week two
Uh,
of our tier list of ranking everything, I suppose we could
yeah.
say. Which is
Well, yeah.
good. We had a lot of fun last time, and now we're
Hmm.
back and doing it again. So hopefully, you guys, whether you're tuning in now or watching a bit later, join the discussion. We're always open to comments. We're always responding. We're always having a good time. So yes, make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Join the conversation. Join the
Hmm.
discourse. Tell us what you think of our game, not our games, the Star Wars games and the Star Wars shows. We didn't make the games.
But and also as a little treat for you guys who didn't come last week for our movie live action movie and show tier list, and it is above our current one, so you can also see kind of where we were at last week, and then also once we do our shows, that will obviously be a good comparison to kind of see where our general ones are together, because if we did them both on the same one, it would be way too messy.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
there is so much on the side here that we're gonna have to add, obviously. So I
Mhm.
mean, also today we did also decide not just some of the shows, that we want to also try to test the waters a bit with some games.
Yep.
And I think definitely good contention to talk about these games in particular, since hot topic, especially with some of the EA ones that we've got we've got
Recently.
in the list. Yep. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
definitely be good to go. So
Yeah. Um,
nonetheless.
yeah, I think we should get straight into it. Looks like we've got a few of you already joining. Actually, before we begin, I just got to
Yes,
pop
yes,
in
yes.
my question. We got to do this.
Yep.
What's the question going to be today?
Oh
Question will
no.
be, ooh, ooh, Battlefront 2015 or Battlefront 2017?
Hmm.
And I should spell Battlefront properly. That would be a good idea. Battlefront. Yep, done. All
It
right.
is sad
Next
that EA
thought.
are solely working. They're solely working on their new Battlefield game, so it's definitely
Yeah.
not going to happen, sadly. But
No.
Battlefront 3, but we
Yes.
wish.
All right. We'll start with the shows. We'll kind of go in order of what's here, I suppose. Make it easy. So Clone War. Actually, no. I should say, if you didn't watch the last one, it's pretty self-explanatory what we're doing. I
Yep.
still don't know why we've got the emojis next to our names. That's a bit funny.
Just a
Um,
meme.
just families. We're ranking it from masterpiece down to hot garbage. Closer to the left is better in our opinions. So if a project is really far to the right, I'll use the example of Jack's
Yep.
Last Jedi thing right here. He put it right at the bottom. That means it's his least favorite. So
Hmm.
just keep that in mind.
Yep. Yep.
And with that, let's start with Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
Am I taking from left or right? I can't remember.
You take from the left hand
Okay.
sides.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Three, two, one. Ooh, ooh,
Interesting. So
ooh.
we're both fairly in
Similar.
around the same thought process. It looks like.
Yes, it does
Like
seem like that.
I'll go first. Why not?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
look, it's quite obvious that the final season, aside from the Trace and Rafa arc, was definitely a very strong way to end the whole Clone Wars and the season. And I think the animation alone is just next to nothing in it, and it did get better through even through the Bad Batch and stuff. So that's definitely one of the main reasons why I've put it at the bottom of Masterpiece. However, you also have to remember that this is where a chronological arc kind of tier list on its own for just Clone Wars would be essential. And I think that could be one we could consider down the line, because, wow, you've got some of the droid. I know George Lucas said the droid arcs and episodes was his favorite. No, no, man, no, it wasn't good. And it's just, and some of these ones, and I know you don't like the water war. And when we did our war
I
ones.
don't not like it. It's just weird that
And
you obsess over it.
to be fair, people hated on it when it came out. It's like the first one of season 4, I think it was the first kind of few episodes, and I see why. And Clone Wars has to be one of the highly most like discussed TV show for animated purposes in Star Wars because of how up and down it can get, how jarring some of the early animation was,
Mm,
and how they did kind of develop a lot of characters, but then also underdeveloped a lot of them.
mhm.
And I'm going to get into a character particularly, probably more in the 2D Clone Wars one, and I'll mention him now so you guys can get a kind of idea on where I'm going with it. General Grievous. I still think he probably got a bit disrespected, I guess you could say, in this show. Like he never really, apart from like maybe even the Gungans, like he got taken out. I think he was actually done better in other projects, which we'll get into later. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like some character choices in this was a bit weird within some of the writing and stuff, but
Mhm.
overall, fun time. It made the prequels a lot better, and it was a perfect bridge connection to Revenge of the Sith. And I will never forget what it did for my childhood. So that's why it's going to be in the masterpiece.
I think you pretty much summed it up perfectly. I was just gonna say, I feel like with Clone Wars, there's a lot of really good stuff, like
Oh yeah.
almost on the level of what I would consider like Andor, Rogue One,
Hmm.
all that. There's some really positive, really fun stuff. But then there's some real lows as well. And you
Hmm.
just, there's too much of that and it's not
Mm.
consistent enough. So it would fall in Masterpiece, but that's again, it's just not consistent enough like a Rogue One, like an Andor,
Yeah.
like a et cetera, to be in Masterpiece. So I'd put it in amazing because it is an amazing show. The memories that it gives me
Hmm.
flashbacks to my childhood. I remember one time, it might have been Water War. I can't lie to you.
No,
I
what
saw
a
Water War live and I was like, holy moly, what the
This is
heck is
great.
this? So yeah, it's a fantastic show. It's nostalgic.
Mhm.
It's our sort of show, our generation. So yeah,
Yep.
so doesn't belong anywhere else in my opinion.
For real, for real.
For real.
Alrighty. This next one is
Yeah, I've been kind of confused about what to
hmm.
do for this one, in all honesty.
I think I have it. I think I have one. Are you ready?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
I'll count
yeah.
us in.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Wow, masterpiece. You have to explain yourself.
Okay. So I was really
Hey.
debating. I don't know if this is better than Clone Wars or not.
No,
I might change it by the end of this.
no.
But what I love about Rebels is the story of family. It's about these misfits that come together and defy odds and grow with the rebellion. And it's just like beautiful. And seeing how they all kind of go off at the end of the show. And obviously they come back in Ahsoka. I know we don't talk about that. I don't really think Ahsoka is the best representation of the Rebels. But what this show does, I mean, yes, it's definitely more kid-ish than Clone Wars, but
Hmm.
it introduces some amazing characters, some amazing ideas. It, for the most part, kind of ex brings out the best sides of the Empire and the Rebellion in terms of what we're shown. Like, yes, in I guess the movies we see the rebels and the Empire as we're supposed to, but we get it more fleshed out, and that's what I appreciate. So. I think, yeah, I would probably stand by the fact it's either above, just above Clone Wars or just below. It might change. We'll see what happens on by the end of the list. But yeah, I love Rebels. It's a great show.
Yeah, look, I think the family aspect is good, but I feel like over 4 seasons it gets a bit repetitive and it starts to become a bit generic and I guess stereotypical with how the plots kind of end up kind of falling out to be. I
Mhm.
think Thrawn introduction was sick. I think it was cool getting him canonized, but at the same time, I think this is another issue that gets bled through into Ahsoka, and I hope it changes. He loses, but it's strategic losing, and he barely wins. And if he does win, it's a very small, minor win that doesn't really impact anything greatly, and it's a very awkward position to have him in terms of the show.
Mhm.
I think some of the episodes definitely were standout. Obviously, with Trials of the Darksaber, I forgot the name of the one with Ahsoka, Darth, and Maul, and all of them.
Twilight of the
Twilight
Apprentice.
of the Apprentice Part
Yeah,
One and Two,
nuts.
great. But then everything else, I feel like there is more mid and just average episodes in Rebels than there is in Clone Wars, and that's saying something when Clone Wars has by far more episodes and more seasons and more characters in total. So I think, and I don't like the animation. And look, that's going to be a hot take. I mean, obviously, at first, when they first saw people saw the trailer in season 1, they're like, "What is this downgrade from Clone Wars?" I think it is not a downgrade. I think it's just a stylistic choice. but it just doesn't really do it for me. And it's a bit too like I just want to put out the example of Anakin when we saw him on the hologram. What the heck was that?
Yeah, that was
Like they just
bad.
make him look too like round. Everyone's like kind of circular and smooth like clay or Play-Doh or something.
Hmm.
Like I don't know. It's not visually there for me, and some of the character choices, some of the characters themselves are a bit annoying, and the plots. But overall, great show. I think it is borderline amazing. That's why I have it in the amazing kind of section because it
Hmm.
does have very impactful episodes. But overall, I definitely don't even think it's close to Clone Wars. I mean, it looks close, but it's a whole tier above directly. So
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. I think, yeah, I do agree. Just for me, I don't know. I think the family aspect really draws me in a bit more. And yes, I do agree it does get repetitive. And with Clone Wars, you get more characters, so it feels a bit more spread out, and that's good. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm a bit more of an originals person, and
mhm.
I like that better.
Yeah, that's fair
Not
enough.
a
That's fair enough.
sequels person.
Not a
Stop
secret.
suggesting I am.
Meanwhile, we're moving on to a sequel one, which we'll
Good
give a
segue.
preface. We'll give a preface for this.
Yeah.
We both haven't watched it. There is two seasons of it, but the reason, well,
Somehow.
so we've the reason why we're adding in, same as Young Jedi Adventures, and for Cooper's sake, the Clone Wars 2D kind of, um, is we want to kind of rank it in a tier list based off not what we've seen, but off the idea. Was it successful generally to the public, and was it even necessary to have? So that's how we're going to kind of rank it in this one, because I do have some thoughts about it, and I have seen one scene on YouTube which I do want to get into. So if you are ready, Cooper,
I'm ready.
three, two, one.
Okay.
I'm going to put it here.
Okay.
So my reasoning for this is I know it's a kid show. You could have done a kid show wise, sort of like Clone Wars and Rebels, where they do tackle more darker themes or more deeper stuff. And I think the time period it's been set in is just not that interesting. They're trying to make it a bridge connect, kind of like what Clone Wars did in that sense. However, it would have, how much cooler would it have been if it was a first project set before Episode 7 and after Episode 6, sort of when the Resistance was building, I guess, similar to how Andor is. I'm not saying we need an Andor level animated project. I'm just saying, why couldn't we get the more intricate focus of stuff before rather than the stuff during? Because it does feel like it's trying to be like a Clone Wars esque with just way less interesting characters from the Resistance.
Mhm.
And there is the only reason why it's not at the bottom of hot garbage, obviously, without watching it. There was a scene with Kylo Ren as a hologram, and he was actually quite menacing in it. And it was, I love that scene. I've watched it a few times actually.
Mhm.
So it's something that I think wasn't really necessary, but if it was to be necessary, I don't think it was the right set in the right time period, and they could have definitely focused the story on something a lot more interesting than some random rebels, I guess you could say, or resistance pilots and stuff.
I agree completely. I feel like so with Clone Wars, we followed characters that we were familiar with from the prequels. Rebels was mostly new characters, but we did get like cameos from familiar characters. Resistance took neither path and went all new characters except for Poe Dameron and
Mm-hmm.
BB-8, and
Mm-hmm.
then season two got a bit better.
Yeah,
But what would have been so much better is set this series in the year after The Last Jedi.
could have.
Focus it on your main characters of Rey,
Mm-hmm.
Finn, and Poe, and Rose, I guess technically is a main character,
Develop them.
and make it like a Rebel show. Make it like a Clone Wars. Have them go out and do missions, grow their characters. That's what Clone Wars does really well for Anakin and Obi-Wan and like
Mm-hmm.
Mace Windu and etc. Resistance, I couldn't tell you one thing that Poe Dameron does. I don't know. So it's missed opportunities, it's missed potential. But in saying that, I like the idea of it. I don't necessarily think the show will be very good, or at least what I've
Mm-hmm.
seen, it's not very good. But I like the idea of it. And I like the possibility that it could have. So for that reason alone, the idea
Mm-hmm.
of the show goes an average.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, to be fair though, like I don't actually think the animation's that bad. I kind of
No,
like
it looks
that
okay.
cartoony. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't mind it. I think it's all right. Mm.
Yeah. Just quickly, big shout out to the few of you who are joining us. Appreciate you
Mm-hmm.
checking out the live stream. We have just started. We've got plenty to go, so make sure you get your thoughts in the comments. We are responding. We always respond. We love having a chat with you guys. All right, now we move on to the Tales.
Of the
So,
Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi. This was when did this come out? Like 2021, 2022?
I can't remember, but it was definitely the first one of the lot.
It
So
was.
this is
Okay.
an interesting one. I'm ready.
All right, I am ready as well. Three,
Hmm.
two, one.
Oh, I didn't grab mine. I think it. Oh, oh,
Wow, isn't it interesting? We've not done a tier list like this before, so this is the first time we're really kind of getting an indication of what it's like for each other. There you go.
yeah. So,
Interesting.
look, if this was longer, if this was more episodes, longer duration, this is similar to basically all my critique about the Tales series. I think, but for specifically for this one, this could make it to the top of amazing or even the bottom of masterpiece. It develops Ahsoka's character greatly, as much as people either like or dislike how we've been getting so much Ahsoka in recent Star Wars media. That's up to you to interpret. But in terms of a character, this did it very well in terms of kind of filling in different time periods of her age and kind of time. Wowza. Dooku and the Qui-Gon that storyline alone was very dark for something so animated and so kid kind of orientated. And it just did so much with so little for
Mhm.
Dooku and Qui-Gon's character, which I just think is something that you kind of need to address. And I don't know, overall, the Jedi ones alone, I think was a nice little taste and a little teaser, I guess, for a bit of development for these Jedi characters. And I can't complain. Honestly, fun time, very short, great animation. Holy, this is the first big step that we kind of saw from after Rebels, after Clone War. Yeah, it was after Clone Wars.
Mhm.
So it's that kind of development. Seeing Anakin again and even Obi-Wan in the training room with their new updated models was unreal. And I think this is a good step in the right direction, I think, for filling in the gaps for this particular characters. I think that they had a good choice of characters, but that is not something that stays consistent within the Tales series, which we'll get into. And yeah, I think overall it I would classify it as amazing. And it looks weird putting it above Rebels, but I think because of just how well something so small and short duration it did for certain characters is just something to, commend because that's really hard to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. You made a lot of good points. I think the Dooku stuff is absolutely the best we've ever gotten out of the Tales series.
Oh
So
yeah.
much thought and care went into that. Not only did it develop Dooku, and we actually got to see his fall to the dark side,
Hmm.
but also developed Qui-Gon and made him
Oh yeah.
more of like a tragic hero as well. So
Hmm.
it was very interesting to see. That it's consistently good. I would say I didn't really like the first Ahsoka episode that much,
Yeah.
just because it was pretty stock standard.
Hmm.
But yeah, everything else was a lot of fun. Yaddle development as well. Like,
Yeah, that was great.
we
Hmm.
didn't need Yaddle development. There we go. We got Yaddle development.
That was a sad outcome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason it's in great, it's really the format. You and me have spoken about this
Oh
plenty of
yeah.
times. We really don't like the Tales format, the 15-minute
Hmm.
episodes. It just doesn't allow the story to flow and reach its full potential. So yeah, as good as the content is, no way I'm putting this anywhere close to Clone Wars or Rebels. Like there's
Hmm.
absolutely zero chance. This is closer to Resistance than it is to Clone Wars in my
Oh, no way, dude.
yeah.
No way.
But that should say that
That's criminal.
I hold Clone Wars and Rebels so highly in that respect.
That's
So yeah.
criminal. That's criminal.
Speaking of criminals,
Oh, yeah, this one is so criminal. This series is criminal as heck. You count us in.
three, two, one.
Oh, I keep dragging the whole
Can I
thing.
start? Can I start?
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna put it maybe. Am I gonna go in between or am I gonna? You go. You go. I'm
Guys,
deciding.
I kid you not.
It's gonna have to
This
go.
is the
It's gonna have
worst Star Wars has ever been. I'm not even trying to kid you guys. The characters we focus on are borderline unnecessary.
criminals. Criminal. Hmm.
Barriss, yeah, cool. Let's see some Barriss story. Let's see what happened after she got imprisoned. Oh, she becomes an Inquisitor. Okay, that's really cool. Oh, she's turned back to the light side after her first mission. Oh,
Yeah.
now she's hiding as a monk. Oh, she's dead like that.
Yeah.
What a
Mhm.
stupid way to end a really interesting character. And then on the other side, Morgan.
Morgan
Oh, let's
Elsbeth.
let's build up Morgan's after what we see in Mandalorian, and let's build it up um before Ahsoka. No,
Mhm.
no, let's not do that. Let's instead go to Dathomir and watch everyone die and get Grievous for like a minute and him giggle menacingly, I suppose. Yeah. and then pitch an idea about a TIE fighter and then go and hide on Corvus and then get arrested by the New Republic, but it's not in relation to Ahsoka.
Not really. Nope. Yeah,
What was this show? What was this show?
you got it in one, to be honest. I think they titled it Tales of the Empire and then kind of were like, wait a minute, we can't do any Sith because it's called Tales of the Sith. So, what kind of Imperials we're gonna do here? They're kind of like, they could have easily just focused it on Thrawn's ascendancy.
Yeah.
Like they have novels and stuff of it already.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's in also the same tier but higher is because of how absolutely stunning it looked to see Grievous go absolutely to town
Yeah, that's fair.
on all the Dathomirians. It just, I'm telling you, man. And this is what I was mentioning before. How does one single, maybe 1 minute and a half, 2 minutes of Grievous is almost done better than the whole Clone Wars and movie? And this is why I had to put it at the top of hot garbage because it did bring one of the coolest looking, scenes ever. So look, the animation was really good. The storyline was atrocious. The development wasn't there, but the Grievous scene was there, and that's why it has to go at the top of it. But it's still an absolutely poor decision of a show, and it really kind of dropped in quality so much for me in terms of from Jedi, and it was just such a sour taste left over.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I got no more words. I don't want to talk about it
Yeah.
anymore. I really don't want to talk about this next one as well, but we can.
Yeah, this one's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
All right. Three, two, one. Let's do it.
Wowza, you really
Oh,
are a
whoopsie.
hater. You
I'm not a
really are a hater.
hater. Get out of here. Well, I mean,
You're a Tails hater. You're a Tails hater.
no, I just don't.
Go for it.
Okay. So, strangely, this show has a lower overall score than Empire does for me, which is weird, but I like
That's
it more.
weird.
I was very disappointed by Cad Bane's story. I thought there was a lot of potential that could have gone into it, and I know people like it because I don't really know why people like it. You can talk about it, but I didn't relate to it. I thought it was weak. I thought it was pretty boring. I really liked the first episode with Asajj. Not typically, mainly because of the combat. That was really cool, and also the cameo from Quinlan, and it kind of links the Dark Disciple together
Hmm.
with the shows. But in saying that, the next two episodes are pretty garbage. So
Mm,
if 1 out of 6 episodes are really good and the rest are pretty mid, yeah, can't
I
make this go any
think
higher.
I think is this is a perfect definition of the stock standard of average. I think whether I agree with you in terms of thinking Cad's story was kind of bad or something, I don't think it was bad. I think it was more just kind of generic in terms of like where it was going to go. And I think doing too many duels of that kind of thing kind of lost its kind of tension of it because it's something we see Cad do almost every single time he gets into a scuffle, I guess, with someone. But ultimately, I loved Asajj's 3 episodes. I think it was very good. I think I don't usually tend to care so much for like oh, here's a baddish kind of person looking after a good person. I think the I don't know. Not the companionship, but the kind of playing off each other was really good with them. The animation was top notch. I really liked the first 2 episodes of the Cad Bane one. It's just the final one of the Cad Bane one and kind of the final one of Asajj's one that kind of left me a bit upset because they went a bit safe. They played it safe.
Mhm.
Asajj could have easily went off and done her own thing, and then he could have easily went with the path. And I thought that would have might have led to something different later for Asajj. But seeing her back was really good. Animation was top notch. A lot more interesting than an Empire. Not as good as Tales, but at the same time, I think if you're saying Tales of the Underworld, it would have been a lot better to actually get more underworldy characters. For
Mhm.
example, I would have even been happy to see Jabba's rise to power or the Hut or Crimson Dawn even, you know what I mean? And focus on Kira. She's an underworld character. Something
Mhm.
like that would have been really cool to kind of bridge it a bit better. Then
Yeah.
also speaking, if you had Kira, you could have had even a Darth Maul cameo, which would have been but then everyone would be like, oh, you just it's like Ahsoka, you're just forcing Maul into everything, which is fair enough because he's getting his own show now, which we didn't know at the time. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's painfully average, but it's good for being average. I think it does its job. Nothing too extraordinary, but nothing too bad either. I think that's
Yep.
where I'm at with it.
Okay. Also, just a quick comment. I don't think anyone at Star Wars or Lucasfilm knows what the hell to do with the path.
Oh
Like,
yeah, 100%.
seriously,
They just
they
say it.
haven't addressed
Yeah.
like the most we got of the path in this, I guess in Star Wars is it was a
Kenobi.
tunnel
Mm-hmm.
on that planet, and then it was a ship on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
And
it.
it's just a way for people to get kind of transported, I guess, to safety, quote unquote.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe they're planning something in the future. That's why
maybe.
they're linking to it all the time. Maybe it's going to be a play a factor in the Mandoverse somehow, or Grogu's journey. I don't know. It's a lot earlier in the time period, but who
That's
knows?
true. That is a while. All right, I think you can count us in for this one. Bad Batch.
Jeez, where am I going to put this bad boy? All right, I've got mine.
Yep, I'm locked in.
Three, two, one, go.
This one's pretty easy for me. Whoa.
Easy as.
Whoa.
Easy as.
Whoa.
Easy. You can go
That's
easy as.
big difference right there.
Can't believe you put it higher than Tales of the Jedi. It's crazy.
Yep. Yep.
It's
Uh,
insane.
Bad Batch is I don't know, it's something about it. I like it. Maybe it's the same deal with like the family stuff. It's the brothers, it's the caring for Omega, it's the adventures they go on. Yes,
See the
sometimes the
emoji?
seasons are dragged out a bit. Yes, there's some unnecessary episodes, but I think the fact that they're able
Dumb.
to give character development to such very similar but also extremely different clones is really quite special and quite something to behold. And I think in the third season, they absolutely nailed a lot of the storytelling ideas that they were trying to tell. So really solid show from season one through season three. Yes, there are some really silly ones like the pod racing episode. But overall, it's a show I would happily watch again. I'd probably binge it instead of waiting for it, like watching it once every week or something. Like binging it would be better. But yeah, I got no complaints. Bad Batch is a pretty good show.
The Bad Batch is bad, and that is my take. No, I'm kidding. The Bad Batch is so unbelievably overrated. I don't know it to the extent these group of characters are just so over the top kitty and so over the top. Am I lagging a bit?
Yeah, that's right. You're back now.
Was I lagging a bit? Okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
back.
it's they're so over the top like kitty, they're so over the top cheesy and corny. You have Wrecker who's just an absolute muscle, no reason to actually have him in the story. I Omega's annoying character still hasn't grown on me. I think I like the idea of the show time like the show's time period and the ideas of seeing how the clones kind of get weaseled out. The only interesting and character that I kind of stayed watching the show for was literally Crosshair. He was the only one that I actually thought made an impact and was actually interesting. Hunter was
Uh-oh.
he literally did nothing. Like Hunter's abilities were absolutely pathetic on plots, like in big time.
No.
Um, let's let's take a pause. Let's take a pause real quick. I'll be in a second if once I turn this on.
I think you were talking too quickly about how much you don't like Bad Batch.
I think they just realized. Hold on give me one
That's fine.
quick
I'll chat
second.
Bad Batch. I'll chat Bad Batch. Bad Batch is a great show. I mean, I kind of already mentioned it before. I think I genuinely wouldn't know whether to put Bad Batch above Rebels. That's oh like if Rebels gonna come down below Clone Wars, I don't know if it would be below Bad Batch as well. It's pretty close. It's all pretty
Bro,
close.
okay. I think I am all good, and I
Yeah.
hated what I heard from you. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. So I think what I'm trying to get at is that it was a poor execution, in my opinion. Characters that I never really cared about, even in season seven of the Clone Wars. So it was not a great way for me to get on board to begin with. I think the best episodes were the spy kind of episodes and the ones with Crosshair. Ultimately, it gave me nothing. It didn't really make me happy. I fell asleep, I think, during so many episodes, which is saying something when they're only 20 minutes long. And I had to go back and rewatch it. And I was just so sad having to do that because I was like, wow, why am I getting put through?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how I don't know how you put an amazing. I don't know how it's almost painfully average. I would almost put it, if there was another tier between hot garbage and average, it's going in it because it's just not great. I will never see myself rewatching this and I don't care for it at all. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Mhm.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's very crazy. Okay. We're almost through the shows. We're almost there.
Getting there.
Um, should we do Visions?
Yeah, this one's an interest. This one's a weird one for me. I don't know.
It is an interesting one.
Okay,
So I should say I have not seen all of season two. I watched all of season one and about half of season two. So I'm just going
I,
off of that.
I did finish season two. Yeah,
Okay.
what didn't miss too much in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Three, two, one. Okay. Similar. Similar.
Hmm. I think I'm going to keep this short and sweet on my end. I think the premise of Vision is absolutely amazing. I think I love seeing them give kind of like creativity, I guess, to different kind of producers and makers and animators and everything. But ultimately, there are some that are so much better than others in terms of episodes. And it's so jarring going from like a knitted, woolly episode to an absolutely stunning anime style episode. It's so painfully up and down. And it's some of the storylines are just the same as the movies, but done with different characters who no one cares about. And I think this is almost the halfway point between like a what if and then
Yeah.
like something completely unrelated. So I understand it's not canon and stuff, but like the absolute disparity, I guess, between the episodes and type of content you get is too vast for me to put it any higher than the bottom of average. But I'd like the concept, and I
Mhm.
will watch them when the new season comes out. But honestly, they need to step up their consistency of how good they are. I don't care about seeing different types of animation if it's still garbage. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can just basically speak of what I've seen in season one. I thought season one was pretty good. Season two, it was okay. Um, I think the idea is fantastic, but
Mhm.
the reason it's going, I like it, so it's going in great. The reason it's going above the other three projects is because I would much rather watch Visions any other day of the week than watch those ones.
Nah.
So I appreciate what it is. It's a bit different. Yes, it's like a what if. It's got fantastic art design and yes, it's like people ask what is Star Wars. We spoke about this last week.
Mhm.
Is Vision Star Wars? Is it just people's interpretation of Star Wars? Is it canon? Probably
Mm.
not. So
No.
it's an interesting, thought-provoking series. So I think it's pretty good. I'm popping in great.
Mhm. Yeah, look, it's just average, I think, for me. So I think that's it for me on that one.
Yep.
So Clone Wars
All
movie.
right. This
Oof,
one.
yikers.
I have not seen this in
Oh,
quite a
same.
while.
Same. But I remember the story and I remember
I
the
do remember the
animation. That's
story
all
as
I gotta
well.
remember.
Yep. Rata the Hutt.
Oh, we're seeing him again. That's
Rota the
cringe.
Hutt.
All right.
Oh God.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, we almost agreed. What a
Um,
shame.
almost. Not quite. It's above Resistance based on the characters that they obviously have main focus on the movie. Animation is so garbage. The story is hot garbage. And I can't believe we're getting Rotter again in Mandalorian movie, and that literally seems like it's going to be a rehash of this movie, just with the Mandalorian being the premise. Which is, if it is, I'm turning it off instantly, and I am making a hate video on it. So I'm not turning it off because I'll be at the cinema, but I will be making a very, very angry video based on it if it is almost identical to this movie, which people are saying it could be. Look, it did give us an introduction to Ahsoka and kind of the Clone Wars type and aesthetic, but why did they choose this particular like mission, I guess you could say, for a solo movie? Like you look at like almost any other arc and it could have been so much
Better.
better as a movie. So
Agreed.
it was a very weird choice. I don't know if they actually talked like to any of the producers and execs about this, and it kind of felt like it just kind of weaseled its way into existence, and then they kind of just wanted to forget about it almost. Honestly, it's no good, and the only reason why it's above Resistance is because of the characters, I guess, because I like the characters. That's basically it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I agree. I don't think the story is very good, but I enjoyed for the most part the characters. It's kind of quirky, for at least from what I can remember.
Mhm.
Like it's Matt Lanter and
Mhm.
James. No, not James Earl Jones. That's Darth
No,
Vader. Uh,
James
yeah,
Arnold Taylor.
James
No,
Arnold Taylor. That's
is
the
it?
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and Ashley Eckstein as well. So yeah, I mean, it's not the best time in the world, but it's certainly and it's a time. I'd
It
much
is.
rather watch it than Resistance.
Rotto is my favorite character. Oh no,
Oh, Allosaurus is back. Oh my
Allosaurus.
goodness.
We are doing very well. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you
asking
for
that.
checking out the live stream. Appreciate it. It's good to
But
see you again.
I don't want to see beef rotter. I don't want to. I don't want to see it in Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't. Just realistically, I
It is
don't.
going to be funny. It's going to be funny. And
Alrighty.
Jeremy Allen Wise, the voice. Oh my
That's
goodness.
hilarious, man. That
That
is
is
so
hilarious.
funny. Has he ever done voice work before for animation?
I
I don't
don't
know.
know. Don't know.
That's something I don't know about
Bit
actually.
of interesting.
Young
Okay,
Jedi.
finally, something I've actually watched and pretty much to its full extent as well.
You got to explain to me how you've actually watched this, by the way. I've never really spoke to you.
I will tell you the story. I think we should pop it in the ranking first.
um, I don't, okay. I don't know where I'm gonna put this. I don't know. I've never watched it.
Okay. Do you
I'm
want to
ready.
count down when you're ready?
Okay. Yep. Three, two, one, go.
Okay, we agreed finally.
You got to explain what the hell
Okay.
is.
It's very simple premise. It's about Jedi, young Jedi who are going on adventures, believe it or not. I don't know. I like the characters. I think it's kind of cute. It's a cute sort of show. They made some dope Lego sets from it as well. Not that that's the main thing, but I don't know. I just thought, you know what? 2022 or whenever it first came out was a pretty lacking year, or maybe it's 2023 was a pretty lacking year for Star Wars. So I'm
23.
like, you know, what, I'm just gonna give this a try. And I watched the shorts, and then it turned into the season. And I can't remember if it's up to season one or season two or season three now, but I think it's okay. It's not for me. It's a cartoon show. It's not the best thing in the world. It's for
Yeah.
little kids. It's on Disney Junior, for goodness sake.
hmm
If you're watching
Well,
Disney Junior as a 20 plus year old,
mhm.
I don't know what you're doing. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, but I did.
Well, look, I've never watched it. The reason why I put it in average and above visions is because if I was a kid, this looks enticing to me.
Yeah.
Like it looks fun. It looks like something I would put on like daytime TV when I was a kid. But look, how am I meant to rate it any higher than average? Like it's just it's the premise is so goofy and like is it canon?
Yeah,
So that means these kids just end up dying anyway. So
probably. I mean, yeah.
like
Yes.
what season two is this gonna be Anakin in the future slaughtering them? Like go for it, I guess, at your heart's content. Like
Maybe.
yeah, weird show. And I don't know why they promote it as like a what's it called? Like they promote it as like a kid show,
Yeah.
but it was almost like, wow, look what's coming out, Young Jedi Adventures.
It's got
Um,
Jedi in it. That's all I'll say.
yeah, like yeah, let move on,
Okay,
man.
all
Get
right,
it out,
fine.
get it
So
out.
that's the last of our shows up. But no, sorry, there's
Nope,
one more.
we've got
One more.
2D Clone Wars.
I didn't watch this one. So we're flipping. We're doing
Yeah,
a
we're
flip
flipping
here.
this one.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
3, 2, 1. Okay.
It is not fantastic. It's great. Otherwise, if it was fantastic, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
It's great. So reason why is because I did actually see this first before the other Clone Wars, and secondly, the absolute powerhouses that every character is in this show is like it's like someone had a slider and everyone and they just max it out. Like they're so unbelievably overpowered. Seeing Grievous go to town on just a bunch of Jedi and be actually good, that's a positive for me. Seeing Mace Windu basically absolutely force trachea break and crush his trachea is insane, and I guess I kind of kept that in to canon because he has a cough, and I guess that means Windu did crush his organs and breathing tubes and everything. Seeing Windu go to town with just the Force abilities, it was the best like versions of almost all these characters in such a short duration. The clones were unreally designed. I love the animation. I thought it was action packed. I didn't think there was any really slow points to it. It was a great time, and honestly, I'm surprised. Like I feel like it's gotten a lot more positive reception lately because it's like one of those hidden kind of gems, I guess you could say. But at the same time, like there wasn't really much plot to it. It was more just very, very exciting action with these characters. I
Yeah.
was upset with Mace Windu battle with this, bro. Mace Windu going to town on those droids was it was kind of scary, like he's seeing Mace Windu be like that crazy good. So it was a fun time. It was great for what it was worth, and I think the animation was actually top notch for its time too. So and also seeing Anakin, um, I think he did. Correct me if I'm. Oh, you haven't watched it. Alcosaurus. Correct me if I'm wrong. He gets his lightsaber scar on his eye from Asajj, I think, or some sort of thing. I think that happened in this show. I can't remember, but yeah, great. great 2D animation, and yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. From what I've seen yes the Grievous fight, and I've also seen the Asajj versus Anakin fight, and they both look pretty good. But
Mhm.
I can't put it above Young Jedi Adventures, which I've actually seen.
No, no, no.
Sorry,
I am right. Thank you, Alcosaurus.
look at
I was
that.
pretty sure. I haven't
Our
seen it in a long,
resident
long time.
fact checker.
Oh man, Cooper, this next game, this collection, we have a very good
We've
experience.
got a
Not
great story to tell you guys.
not a good experience, just a thing that we shared together, I guess. Adventures better than Anakin on Yavin 4. Yeah, exactly. How
Did
crazy
they
is that?
fight on Yavin?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Okay, didn't know that. Okay, let's
Oh
rank
wow.
and then we can talk.
Yeah, okay.
Three, two, one. Yeah, there's no argument here.
The let's just give some context. So Cooper and I, we're big fans of Battlefront. We heard about this coming out. We stayed up to midnight. Basically, I guess you could say release for on a digital store.
Mhm.
Um, I loved Battlefront 2. I played Battle as a kid, the original one. I played Battlefront 1 before this, but not too long before this too. So I didn't really have like a nostalgic kind of connection to the OG Battlefront. But holy wow, was this a disastrous release if I've ever seen one. The absolute lag on the online servers, the getting kicked out of the home screen, the absolute graphics somehow being a downgrade. It like the only really good thing was the music, and that's about all I can say about this collection. I mean, I am willing to give it another shot. Recently, one of my other friends did say he's played it again recently, and they fixed it up a bit. But obviously, the multiplayer servers are dead because no one wants to give it a shot anymore. But I'm not saying that Battlefront 1 and 2 are bad. I'm just saying for the collection itself was a horrible because the games were done so poorly in terms of justice, and it is a shame that I have to put it in hot garbage.
I think this is the game that made me never want to pre-order anything ever again.
Yeah, straight up.
Because
Yeah.
how? Like, I'm not moving that game from that spot. How do you stuff it up that badly? Yes, we had a fun sort of night on the
We did
game
have
when we
fun
played,
still.
but
Yeah.
I've not opened the game since
Hmm.
because I didn't like it. Every time I've still got a video saved on my PlayStation of me shooting Count Dooku and he's just charging at me, blocking all my shots. I'm thinking, what the hell am I supposed to do
How
here?
good was the aim? Where it was like you're shooting and the spray was just
It
like
was
just
it was
automatically like
nuts.
you lined up on them and it would just move around like
Yeah,
it
I hated it. The single player stuff was okay.
was good. Yeah.
Man, if I wanted to play with you and my mates, no chance.
No
No,
way I'm
I'm
going
not
back.
playing. I'm not playing either of these two. I'm playing
Honestly, I hate
you.
Fortnite, but I'd rather play Star Wars Fortnite.
That's it.
Boom.
There you go.
Yep.
That sums it up there. That sums it
Hmm.
up. All right, let's get off of this hot
Yeah, let's
garbage
get off it.
and move to maybe more hot garbage. I'm very curious to see what everyone thinks of Squadrons. Let me pop that in the chat quickly. Thoughts?
I
Um,
I have a very interesting experience with Squadrons, to be honest.
okay, all right, let's pop it in. Three, two, one. I'm
Are
moving
you
it.
putting it ahead? Are you putting it ahead of them?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's fair enough. This is probably this is apart from the collection, this is our closest
Yeah, definitely.
ranking. So I like to admit I actually never paid for this game, which is a bonus because I'd be a bit disappointed.
Nope.
Look, I've never been one to be like the biggest fan of Starfighter kind of like in any like Battlefront games. I don't like flying planes. I like to be on the ground. I
Mhm.
like to be, in full control of what's around me. In this game, I felt like I was gonna vomit. The absolute, the absolute like movements, the sensitivity, the controls. I had more fun on the OG Battlefront 2, Starfighter Assault and everything than Squadrons. I don't know why they've tried to also make it like a fun, quote unquote, campaign type story mode thing because the mechanics wasn't there for me. And I know some tryhard sweats definitely liked it, but in terms of accessibility for your gaming audience, it was so inaccessible. It was borderline unplayable, almost implayable because of just how over stylized it was and how hard it was just to maneuver.
Yeah.
So and I like the graphics. The graphics were good. the sound designs were good, the music was pretty good, the characters were boring, but it just wasn't a great game, and it just fell off the earth. Honestly, it just
Mhm.
fell off the face of the earth.
Yep, I
Mm.
completely agree. I played a little bit of it. I didn't ever finish it. And it was just, I think about it, it was an overcomplication of what Battlefront 2 did and made Starfighter Assault and like Starfighters like. And I don't know, I just didn't fall in love with it like I would
Oh,
hope.
100%.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I am in the group of I'm sure like most people that actually did pay for it. I didn't pay full price,
Mm-hmm.
but I did pay,
There you
and
go.
I will not get my money back for that. So
No, you won't.
oh well.
Look, this next one's interesting. I haven't played it.
I'm
Just
very excited to talk about this one.
hey, get off
Oh,
my right
sorry,
hand
sorry.
side, boy. Get off my
Hey,
right hand
OCD
side,
here.
boy.
OCD.
Um, where
Oh,
am I gonna
I'm
put
good.
this?
I'm so good.
Okay, I think I have a rough idea, maybe.
hmm
All right, three, two, one.
I'm not leaving it there. I'm just moving stuff.
Great,
Yep.
fantastic. So I'm gonna quickly. I'm gonna be very short and sharp with this
Where'd you put
because
it? Ah, average.
I've never played it. I am willing to give it a shot though. Unlike the other stuff I haven't watched, I want to wait for it to be a bit cheaper. I've seen recent gameplay on it again after the bug fixes. It looks great. I still don't care for the main character, and I still wish we could customize our own character to make it feel a lot more unique to the
Mhm.
player. I don't see the appeal in terms of a big open world with not a lot of content in it, in terms of just open space for the sake of open space.
Mhm.
But ultimately, if it was with a better game developer, I could see this going a lot higher. I think it was just doomed from the beginning having them as
Yeah.
their Ubisoft having as
Yep.
their kind of main developer.
Mhm.
So ultimately, I even if I play it, it might go a bit higher in average in terms of fun factor. But I don't know. That just doesn't look that appealing to me, to be honest. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
Okay. So my thoughts on it have changed drastically. So initially I didn't want to get it because I just wasn't interested. You could go all the way back to our 2024 preview video
Yeah,
podcast,
no.
and it was my least anticipated
I
project.
thought it was going to be pretty
Little
good.
throwback.
Hmm.
Um, but having played it, not finishing it, but knowing what happens, it's not bad. It is open world, so it's a lot, and there's a planet, a jungle planet. I can't remember what it was called, like Avala or something.
Hmm.
Maybe not Avala. It was some planet name that started with A. And it's literally just you ride on your bike along pathways, and it's kind of takes you out of it. So I'm not too keen on that. But the main world of Toshara, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
And the combat's okay. They do promote stealth a lot, and it works in like interior situations, like
Hmm.
when you've got to go raid like a millionaire's house and stuff and steal certain things from like Imperial strongholds and stuff. But when it's in fights out in the open and you're trying to do stealth, it's
How you meant
kind of
to?
a bit
Yeah.
janky. So
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I like the game, and the way I'm doing this list, I would much rather play some Outlaws than watch whatever's below it. So.
Well, that is basically how I'm doing it too. I would rather play Outlaws than everything below it, but I'd still probably even still prefer watching Underworld and Bad Batch literally over it
Yeah.
because I mean it will change when I play it, and that's the thing. Like, it's
Yeah.
tier lists never are cemented in stone, I guess you could say. So it is a very different type of
Yeah.
thing. It's not yeah. So I don't know. I'll give it a shot one day,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Overall, not too bad.
Yeah.
Now,
Ooh.
now.
I got a good one for this one.
Now. Yeah, I'm ready as well.
This is Battlefront 1? Yes.
Yep. Battlefront 1.
OG
OG.
Battlefront 1.
Yep.
Okay. Three, two, one. I think it might go higher. I'm going to swap these around.
Wow. Okay. That's actually a surprise.
Well, realistically speaking, we'll get to Battlefront 2. When we get to
Your
Battlefront
graph is
2,
all over the place. I just want to say.
when we get to Battlefront 2, OG Battlefront 2, you'll see. So that is my heart and treasure. This one, I didn't play as a kid, so I don't have as much ties in terms of nostalgia and everything. But playing it not that long ago, it flowed pretty nicely. It was groundbreaking for its time, and it basically spawned this whole plethora of Battlefront games, which are just unreal.
Mm,
I
yeah.
haven't played it, unfortunately. Yeah, I reckon you should, if you guys ever get a chance to, give it a shot. It is fun. The graphics are actually pretty good for what it's worth. but ultimately, it's not as good as Battlefront 2. I do think the music and the transitions and everything is a lot better because it have the iconic kind of I don't know how to. You have to just search it up to know. Yeah, I can't describe it. I'm not reenacting it for you, but it is fun, good fun time, and it's so sad they got doogied on. Even it was so much worse in the Battlefront collection in the classic collection than it did for Battlefront 2. Like
Mhm.
it was almost unplayable when we tried to play this first one in
Yeah,
the collection, which was
it
just so
was.
sad. So
It was.
yeah.
The reason I put it in amazing is
Mm.
because this is one I do remember playing back on the old Xbox, back at the kids club.
Yeah.
It was good fun, and I loved it. It was great fun. It was great fun, and this is when I didn't really have the perceptions of Star Wars that I do now. I just thought it
Hmm.
was a great shooter game.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed playing it, and
Hmm.
yes, I would enjoy playing it more than Outlaws.
I would. Yep, I would.
That's
Straight up.
literally all I have to say about this game. It's a shooter. You know what it is. You know the name Battlefront's big in the media at the moment.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's amazing.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'll be able to.
So
I just gotta turn off my camera real quick.
that's okay.
Um, I can still talk. So let's get into Jedi games, shall we?
Yes. Well, one of the Jedi games, I
One of
suppose.
the Jedi games. Oh, I just grabbed your one by accident. Sorry.
What? You went off at me for
I
doing
moved
that
it up. I
before.
know. I know. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Ah, yes, original. It's pretty right. Loved chance to visit sites from movies, maps like Yavin. Yeah. Lit- yeah, no, literally just
Mhm.
everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
remember I remember just quickly one more
Yeah, yeah.
thing. On Classic Collection, we played on might have been the oh my God, I'm blanking. Not Naboo.
Mm-hmm.
Play on Naboo, but it was another swampy sort of planet. I don't know if it was Dagobah
Dagobah, maybe.
or Kashyyyk. That was,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of fun. Just,
Mm-hmm.
I know it was on Classic Collection, but it's still a
Yeah,
representation of, anyway, doesn't matter.
that's true.
Yeah, let's do Jedi.
Jedi. Okay. Yep.
This one's
I think
easy.
I'm ready. Yeah, I think
Yep.
I'm ready.
Three, two, one. You know exactly where I'm putting this.
Alcosaurus, don't have a heart attack. No, I'm kidding. I know you love Cal Kestis, and I know you love this game. He's your favorite. You go on, yeah, go on about it. Yeah,
Cal Kestis is my favorite character in Star Wars. I've cosplayed as him many times,
yeah,
just for the fun of it.
yeah.
I love the story. I love the side characters. I love the villain. I love Vader. I love the gameplay. I love. What don't I love? I don't love that it's too short. I don't love that you can't make your lightsaber red. That's it.
Hmm. Look, I don't love the gameplay or the combat. Like, okay, this is going to be a recurring theme for the Jedi games. I don't feel like it's that fun. I really don't like it. It's almost like you're restricting my ability of a Jedi to cause havoc. And I'm shocked. Like, okay, I don't know, Alcosaurus, since you're active in the chat, I'll pose this to you when you hear it. Um, I don't know if you've played the Force Unleashed games. We were gonna have this in the tier list, but this is for a potential future only game only video. But in that game, it made me feel like I was actually powerful. It felt like I was able to take out troopers with ease. Why am I like struggling three-shotting a not struggling because I eventually got the hang of it. But when I first played it on normal difficulty, trying to three-shot like a regular trooper with a lightsaber. I was just like, I know it's a game and I know you have to have it like be kind of difficult in aspects, but it doesn't feel right having a Jedi just not be able to clean slate these people. And this is my issue. I don't care if he hasn't had any training or at all or whatever, or lack of training because of Order 66 and everything. It's a lightsaber. I don't want it to be like a baseball bat. And dismemberment when it wasn't in the first game and everything, it just I don't know, man. But the story was top notch. The breath of fresh air was top notch. I'm not hating on it to hate on it. It's amazing. I just thought, yes, exactly. Force Unleashed is a goated game. It made you feel like you were actually powerful and then also the boss battles in the Force Unleashed games were hard. These ones here were hard, but also it wasn't like for some reason it felt like it went by in like 2 seconds. But if you up the difficulty, they just became max like they just became like invincible. So it's like at this point in time, I don't understand what I'm doing. So it's like yeah, the difficulties weren't great in my opinion. It felt very up and down, but overall the world building, it was really good, and it was a breath of fresh air. But holy wow, putting in a masterpiece is absolutely absurd.
Damn.
Yep.
Well, you know, we've spoken about this plenty of times.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. I'm really excited about this next. I'm really excited about the next five, in all honesty. We've got some straight
We've got
bangers
some
to finish this
bangers.
video, to finish this live. And let's start with Battlefront 2015.
Hmm.
I would like to tell a story before we rank.
Yep.
I did not start playing this until 20 late 2016.
So basically, when it was dead.
Basically when it was dead,
Yeah.
but I had a lot of fun on
Did
this
you
game.
have it with the updates with the deluxe, or did you have the
I
deluxe
bought
maps?
the premium version, so I got
Yeah,
the
so you had
DLCs, but no one was
Jakku.
playing them because everyone was waiting for
Yeah,
Battlefront 2. So
they had Jakku and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. It was a lot
Mhm.
of fun. Outer Rim, Jakku, yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's rank. Three, two, one.
I
Oh,
think it just is slightly better than Fallen Order
ooh,
because
interesting.
I can't put like I can't put it in masterpiece knowing that what it had on release was pretty appalling for a AAA game. So this is my
Okay.
theory. If it came out with the deluxe edition or the whatever other edition, whatever you call it, if that was out with release, it would be at the bottom of masterpiece for me. I know you don't need a campaign to be good, but I do generally think that the gameplay of this is my hot take. The gameplay of Battlefront 2015 is actually more fun than Battlefront 2 2017. But we'll get into Battlefront 2017 later. But I do think I actually had a more fun time with this game, and I will never forget first buying it when it came out on the Xbox. I was like, wow, this is what next gen games are. You know what I mean? I was like, this is it. I was like, when are you ever gonna play as Darth in these kind of graphics? So I was like, so this was like peak content for me, and I think look, the only criticism of it is that it had lack of anything. It came out half baked, but the graphics and everything was great,
Like
and the gameplay was really fun. So
six
that's why
heroes
it's
on
in there.
release is nuts.
Is nuts, yeah.
Um, I had a lot of fun playing this, and I also played it recently with Mark, and
Hmm.
yeah, had a lot of fun. Um, it's just so it. I feel like Battlefront 2 is better, but
Oh, it's
Battlefront
better
1 is
overall.
timeless in a
It
sense.
is one, and also, can we just mention how absolutely fire that wall that poster is?
Oh yeah,
Because I had that as my wallpaper on my phone for the longest time when I was a kid. I was
it's
like,
a banger.
man, I was like, this is fire. I'm like, what? Like, I didn't know what Aura wasn't a thing back then, but if it was, Max Aura,
It had aura,
like
max aura.
unreal. Like that's goaded. I don't know who designed that, but it's genius.
I agree. Um, um, Yeah, look, I mean, yes, I didn't play. I loved the Death Star ones. The Death Star
Death
ones, but
Star
when we were doing
ones
the
were
trench
great.
run was you can't do the trench run in Battlefront 2, well, like
Nope.
2015, which is a shame.
Hmm.
But yes, I love this game. It was great, just content wise. It's not as
Content wise, it's our. All
not as good.
right, I'm ready.
Battlefront 2, the OG, the OG Battlefront 2. I know where this is going for you, but anyway, let's go.
Yes, this is going. Three, two, one.
Yeah,
We have it, ladies and gentlemen. My first highest masterpiece
we
for
love it.
today. Oh,
We love
like
it.
what is there to say? Like, if I had to pick a game that was not the classic collection, if there was a game that was remastered, like if they remastered this game to the level of like great quality, I'm never playing another game again. This is my favorite shooter game. It made me, yeah, it literally made me so happy to be a Star Wars fan playing this game. I love the kind of campaign missions that you get with Tamora's voiceover on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just goaded. Like it makes me feel like I am part of the clone army, and I loved the kind of the I don't know not the turn-based style, but you spawn in, you've got objectives to capture. It feels like a Battlefield mixed with like a Call of Duty and it was just really good for its time. Camino, it just beautiful locations. It was the first time. It was just an improvement on the OG Battlefront, and that is all I could ask for. Heroes versus villains. I nonstop played it, nonstop. Tatooine, 24/7. Heroes versus villains. I lived in it. I felt like I was in that video game. This game was my childhood. It was the first PC game I fully played like that wasn't just like a online, crappy, web-based one. This was the first proper PC game I played. I still have the disc somewhere, and oh man, like speechless. And I wish Battlefront 2 2017 was kind of as fun as this one, because this one felt like everyone could be overpowered in the sense that like you didn't need to have the best aim, you didn't need to have the best anything, but everyone was just on the same kind of playing like level field, and it was just great. You just had chaos everywhere.
Mhm.
Dude, heroes versus villains. This is peak Star Wars content, man. So fun.
So I would so agree with you, but unfortunately, the only Battlefront 2 I played was in Classic Collection, and I
Yeah,
didn't
so
have a good time. But I have seen videos, I've seen clips, I've seen other gameplay, and it looks phenomenal. And yes, if they remastered this, it would be absolutely the best game ever.
mhm.
There'd be no question.
No
But for
question, man.
me, having not seen it, it's about the same because I know it's better than the original Battlefront, but
You
I
played
played the original
better.
Battlefront and I didn't play Battlefront 2. Don't know why. Don't know why.
Yeah, even though it came out older. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Weird. Weird.
Mm.
Speaking of
Battlefront
Battlefront 2,
Fun 2. What in
how'd
the
this happen?
doppelganger?
Okay. This one I'm very excited for as well.
Sorry to hear, Cooper.
Yeah, I know. Childhood ruined, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. All right,
All
three,
right.
2, 1. Let's do it.
I'm not doing it. I'm putting it here.
That's actually a crime.
And there's a reason for it. And I'm going to be very straight to the point with this one.
Do it.
I had it on the Xbox One and I upgraded to the PS5, and I haven't been able to play it since like 2020. So
Okay.
realistically speaking, I am not in on all this kind of rejuvenated fun. I didn't really get to, what's it called, play it online when it's at its peak, because when I first got the game, people dropped off completely because of the microtransactions and basically the pay to win. So I never really played it at the height of player base where it was thriving. And I just want to preface this. People of the channel, I love this game. Don't think because I'm never in any of the gameplay footage videos on our channel, I don't like this game. I'm just not paying Xbox Live, and I'm not paying even what it is now in like $7 to play a game that will probably end up dying again in like 3 weeks' time, and then we'll have another peak later on in random. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just starting again. If I bought the new Xbox, this is going higher because that means I would have just continued with it throughout. But ultimately, it was an improvement of Battlefront 1. And let's just say, Cooper, we're both in agreement with this. Luke was done justice in this campaign. It was almost like the best version of Luke we've ever gotten. in a random EA Battlefront 2 game. It was great.
I can't lie to you. That is the last thing I expected you to say right there. Oh, yeah, we can agree. The graphics look great. Yeah, we can agree. The heroes are awesome to play as. Yeah, we can agree. This is the best interpretation of Luke. What?
It
What?
is.
Just out of nowhere.
I hope Alcosaurus is saying that this is I hope he's agreeing with what was said about Luke in terms of the thing, because yeah, seeing him actually be Luke is phenomenal after so much of our modern day media where he's just ragged on to pieces.
That's
And
so
I know comics and books he's been done justice, but in terms of like games or TV shows or movies, he hasn't been that great. And I think in this game, I know the story was kind of like, oh wow, of course we're following a trooper who defected back to the rebels. You know what I mean? Like it's generic, but the graphics were great. The story was fun for the most part. We saw some like I forgot her name, Iden Versio.
Iden.
Iden, when she did her pod into the ship through space, it's still
That was
iconic.
insane. Yeah.
Like that's pretty iconic, man. It was just a fun time overall, and it's an improvement on Battlefront 1 in 2015.
Campaign aside, the game was actually pretty good as well. Much
It
improved
was.
on the graphics and the content. I remember
Hmm.
being so hyped seeing the trailer videos for this game. It was actually
Oh
insane.
yeah.
I got the pre-order of this game, so I got the beta version like 3 days early, and it didn't work on the first day, and I was absolutely
What?
distraught. Like it was a tragedy. It was a
It was
tragedy,
a very poor release. Yep.
but it was so good. Playing on Naboo, like it was groundbreaking. Feed was perfect. And just everything from there went further and got better. And yes, the content after the game release wasn't great, but yeah, so
He,
many
he
memories.
yeah, he meant refusal to pay for the services. He hasn't actually. He's not. Alcasaurus, honestly, even if you haven't played this game, search up the campaign of it, give it a watch. It is pretty fun, and the graphics are good. And Luke's story is really good in it. So if you like Luke and you want to see him at kind of his prime in terms of how he acts and how he presents himself, this is a great game for it. So,
He's in it for like 5 minutes. Just
but it's perfect.
you
It's
do get to
perfect.
play as Luke, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's perfect for what it's worth.
And jump across clouds. That happens.
Yeah, it
That
does.
happens.
It does. Yep. Alrighty.
Okay, all right. Enough about Battlefront. Let's move to the second Jedi game.
Second Jedi game.
Yep.
Where am I putting this one for me?
I'm pretty sold on where I'm putting this one.
I don't think I am. I really wasn't a fan of it as much as you. So
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm happy
obviously,
to.
you are a Jedi stan. Like I've never seen someone love it so much.
I don't know what to say to you there.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I've got mine. I've got mine.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's get it.
Go on, Cooper. You take us away.
Oh wow, you dropped that. You dropped that quite a bit. Okay. So it's in Masterpiece for me. And it's hard to say I'm currently in my third replay of the game because I've kind of stopped. But man, the story's not as good as Jedi Fallen Order. Nowhere near as close.
No,
But the
no one
mechanics are a lot better, the fighting's a lot better, the stances are a lot better. I feel like you get to connect with the characters a lot more, which I really appreciate. Not sold on the villains. I'm not gonna say who it is just in case no one
Oh man,
hears.
it's outdated as
It's
hell now.
fine.
You'd probably
There's a
say.
High Republic guy
Mm.
who's comes back and turns evil, and that's okay.
Mm.
That's
I mean,
interesting.
it
Way to
was in the
shoehorn.
trailer. It was in the trailer, low key.
It was, but you didn't know he's going to be evil.
No. Well,
And then it turns out your best friend in the game is the
mhm,
evil one. So yeah,
classic. And he also was a Jedi at some point,
yes,
kind of.
I'm excited to see how this sets up number three and the last one because I think
I
three
think
will
I'm
be
more
an
excited.
absolute
Yeah.
banger.
I think I'm
But
more excited for, yeah, 3 than what I've gotten with these two.
yeah, but look, Battlefront, not Battlefront, sorry, or Battlefront. Yeah. Jedi Survivor, yes,
From 3?
Battlefront 3, shoehorn it in. Yeah.
Look, um, I did not care for the story in this one as much, aside from Cal's kind of evil tendencies. And what's his
More than
name?
tendencies.
Yeah, no, but what's his name? I forgot his name. I haven't played it since the first time I played it.
Who are you
The
talking
meme,
about?
the boss battle.
Oh, Rick
The
the
boss bar. Yeah, Rick the
Bell
technician.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was great. Like that surprised the hell out of me.
that was funny.
This is peak. I didn't want to kill
Yeah.
him. But anyway, yeah, honestly, I could not care less for the bigger world. It kind of felt more emptier in my opinion. I preferred the linear style of the first Jedi game actually more because I don't know, like I was kind of hoping that this game, when they announced it was going to be a bit more open worldy, that it would be more open worldy. When this was more just a bigger sandbox of just traversing and kind of stuff, which I'm not a fan of. But sleeps in. How's Coop gone and put
Oh my God.
exactly no redemption arc whatsoever. I was waiting for Schleet to come in and diss him for this. Yeah, and it only took him to the second last game. No, no hate, no hate.
No.
Let's talk about like his positioning of some of the things. It's pretty appalling, you know. I think if anything, he's dug himself more of a hole. But I'll finish off my tangent of Survivor. I am looking forward to the third one because of where we left off of the second one. I didn't care for the introduction of Darth in this one. I did not like him in this one actually, and yeah, overall, I thought it was longer and more. I thought it was longer and more just tedious, in my opinion. I just had to get through more random ass side things. But I did like, I forgot his name again, Cooper. The species from. Damn it, what's his name?
The Ravis?
Maybe what's his name? The big brute at like earlier on in the
Yeah,
game.
that's Ravis. So he's a Gendai.
That's the one. Gendai. Yeah, I love those species. So that was cool. That was sick. And but yeah, the generic plot, evil villain twist thing is just just what the hell are we doing? What are we doing, Bodhi? Like, what are we doing? Like, it's just no. Okay. Yep, done.
You're done.
Yeah,
I'm very excited about this last one.
same. Yeah, this one's great.
I know where I'm putting it.
Mm.
Um, I feel like you should do the honors. I've done the countdowns a lot
All right,
recently.
all right. Oh my god, I keep moving the whole screen. Hold on, let me. Okay, I'm moving the whole screen here. Give me one sec. Ends up just crashing the whole stream. All right, three, two, one, go.
Wow. Actually, yeah, I
Wow,
completely agree with you.
have you not put it in masterpiece?
No, I'm putting it amazing.
There's only one. There's only one negative that I have with this game, and it's quite obvious. Have a guess.
It's old graphics.
Yeah, graphics are absolute horrid compared to what we got in the cinematics, which were absolute. Whew.
Dude, we should do a tier ranking of the Old Republic cinematics.
Oh my god, we should. Would you guys like an Old Republic tier list cinematics? That would be goaded, man. And then we watch
There's a lot of them. There's a few of
watch
them.
them at the same time because I absolutely froth watching them every now and then. They're great.
They're fantastic.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, you go. You go.
So-
Oh, what? What was that?
we do need a remake. However, though, Schleep, to talk about that one real quick, I am scared for remakes ever since the classic collection.
Yeah, you missed our whole spiel about the classic collection.
I mean, you can see it's at the very bottom. But I would absolutely love a good remake of Kotar because it is so good. The time period it's in is literally peak Star Wars. Like it is so
Oh yeah,
unexplored.
you're right. I'm moving this.
It's
You're so
unexplored.
right.
The storyline and just how the characters develop throughout it is perfect. The only negative I have of it is the graphics and honestly me being a young noob at the time on getting stuck on particular levels. I played it when I was young, man. I was like, how the hell am I meant to get out of this building? Like I didn't know how to play games back then. So aside from like me rage quitting a lot back in the day playing it, the absolute storytelling of it, the feeling that your character's unique, the turn-based style of it is great. The story is probably peak game Star Wars, storyline. I think it can't get much better. Me being a young Cooper.
I'm never gonna make you forget that.
Honestly, it needs a remake. It needs to be graphically better in terms of like I need
Oh
to
yeah.
be like Battlefront 2 EA 2017 level graphics because if that happens, I might pass away. I might pass away from how good it is.
Yeah.
Because I do come back to this game quite frequently, not saying that I complete it from start to finish, but I do come back and just play aspects of it at a time. I even bloody brought it on the Switch, I think. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
like it well, it's just fun.
No, it's
I
good.
like
That's good.
look, imagine an Old Republic trilogy like they were talking about of movies.
I feel like they need to do more than just make a
That's
trilogy
right.
of like core stuff that happens because the Old Republic stretches for such a long
It
time.
does, it does, it
Make a
does.
core trilogy or two trilogies
But you
of
could do
time.
you could do time jumps that actually are more effective in terms of like not like time jumping like Andor where it's like, oh, 1 year is gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like bigger time jumps. But honestly, like the cinematics alone,
10,000
this-
years later.
yeah, everyone's died. No, I'm kidding. The I don't know, like it's just like at the height of the Sith and the height of the Jedi, the height of chaos within the galaxy,
Mhm.
Revan, Malik. It's just peak. It's peak. These are my favorite. Many of my favorite Star Wars characters done justice. So, well, not done like as in like they weren't done justice beforehand. Just like I just love seeing them be who they are, and it's perfect.
Yep. So I did move mine up from amazing to masterpiece because I mean you could be a great salesperson in all honesty because yeah
Because
yeah
I'm shifty.
because to be honest when I first thought about it I'm like I've played it two ways I've played it on the PC and I've played it on the iPad of all things.
The iPad is
I
something.
hated it on the iPad because I could never
Yeah.
get past a certain mission, but on the
Mm.
PC all the memories just started flowing back in.
Mhm.
I love it. It's such a good
Mhm.
game. You get
Mhm.
to choose your own adventure kind of thing.
Also, strong female characters. I just
Okay,
wanted to
yeah,
mention that.
okay.
It was just written well. Like
It
we could never
was.
get that with Ray.
Oh, okay. There's the
So
sequel
much
hate.
better.
It's
So
back.
much better. So
Oh
much
my
better.
God. Okay. Well, yes, Knights of the Old Republic, it's a fantastic game, and the
Yep.
spin-offs and whatever that they did with like the
Huh.
Old Republic and everything, it's fantastic. So, yes, they need to make more Old Republic content because
Oh,
it
hell
is
yeah.
fantastic. It's a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic time period. Yes, they do need to handle it with care.
Oh,
Yes,
100%.
they need to not only do movies but make shows as well, I reckon, just to flesh it because it's this time period of the Old Republic is so much longer than Skywalker Saga onwards. It's so
Mm-hmm.
much longer. It's got so much
Come on,
cool
more
stuff.
juice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So yes,
Sleep, just to answer. So you did join late,
didn't
so
play
no
it.
hate, no hate. But we wanted to do more games, in like a separate one in terms of like we wanted to do obviously Force Unleashed. I would even have you do Republic Commando, Jedi Starfighter, Jedi battles, all that kind of stuff. So this was more just a taste, I guess, a teaser of. I was just replying to a comment. Get back to him, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm just letting him know so he's not stressing that we forgot the Revenge of the Sith game, which has a hilarious alternate ending. All right, continue.
I was done. I'm done, man. My
Finish it
list.
off, mate. Finish it off. Just cap it off, mate. Just do
Okay,
it.
all right. Well, okay, so this is my list on the left. It's got my name on the top. So if you don't see it, then you need to get your eyes checked. Um,
Yep.
I'm pretty confident and happy with how it ranks. I would also like to draw attention to Classic Collection, which is at the very bottom of Hot Garbage, which is by far and away the absolute worst experience I've ever had with a game. And like I was saying
Mm-hmm.
before, it is the reason I do not pre-order games anymore.
Yep.
A game
Straight
has
up.
to be really bad for it to do that. So yeah. The rest of the
Yeah.
time, I should address, if Schleep's still here, I should address
Mm.
the fact that yes, I did put Rebels above Clone Wars,
Oh,
but you
no.
also did miss me saying that on any given day, it could easily fall below it. The reason I'm not putting Clone Wars in Masterpiece is because yes, there is some top tier stuff that rivals like the likes of Andor and Rogue One and Empire and stuff, but it's also not consistent enough to be in Masterpiece. I think Rebels consistently delivers on the tone and the message and the voice that it sets out from the beginning, and that's why it's in Masterpiece.
Consistently boring. No, I'm kidding.
Wow, what a
Like
lame comeback.
Rebels has so many sleeping garbage episodes. I'm sorry. Like we don't like the droid episodes in Clone Wars, but you can't say that the height of Rebels episodes even closely rivals the height of Clone
Hmm.
Wars episodes.
Um,
Trials of the Dark Saber and
no, but
Twilight
it's
of the Apprentice
close.
is good. It's close, but it's not. It's not better. I'm sorry, in my opinion. So, like even that
Also,
alone.
I've
Mm.
just noticed a trend for both of us.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is just, I don't know why it's happened this way. A lot more positive on the games than the shows.
Really? I thought I did a lot of negatives.
Look at your bottom three. Sorry, look at your bottom two. You've got one, two, three negative games, and
What do you mean? I
one,
got
two,
four.
four. What am I missing?
Classic Collection, Resistance, Clone Wars.
Resistance isn't a game.
Well, I'm talking about in terms of both games and together. I
Oh,
think I've been more negative overall. I think I was a lot more. Yeah, I was a lot more positive in the movie.
I was gonna
Like,
say at the start it was
comparison.
looking very negative for you, but it's kind of evened out, I'd say.
Well,
Actually,
yeah, I
I think it
mean, it does a little
almost
bit
evened
even
out,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think you've done more positives in this one, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I love the games and the more recency of the games as well. So I don't know. You know me, I'm a sucker for good graphics. I'm a sucker for good
Sucker
content,
for, sucker for good grab.
and you can quote me on that however long you want. Yeah. So
Oh man, he's questioning you now hard. Here we go. You got another one to defend.
Outlaws Overtale. Okay. Um, you did miss this because I did comment on it as well. I said I would much rather play a bit of Star Wars Outlaws than watch an episode of Tales of the Jedi. Not that Tales of the Jedi is bad, because I do like it, and you did miss me saying that, it was good fun and it was great development for Dooku and for Ahsoka and for Qui-Gon. But I also appreciate the time that can you stop shaking your head? I appreciate the times that I did play Outlaws, and yes, it wasn't the best game. Yes, it wasn't the best story, but it was a fun time playing it. So, would I
Well,
rather enjoy playing
well,
a game that is more interactive or watching a 15-minute episode that I know what's going to happen every time?
I would rather watch a 15-minute episode of Dooku losing his cool and seeing Dooku's fall than playing some lame ass bounty hunter outlaw, I guess you could say, person in a Ubisoft open world game.
You're all good. You don't have to apologize. It's
Coop
fine.
gets he always gets singled out every time he does a ranking of anything because of his
I'm
take.
just so out of the ordinary, you know. I'm so different from everyone with my opinions.
There is a reason why we enjoy doing this as together instead of
Yeah.
individually because of the
Yeah.
controversial takes.
I think every single live stream we've had some sort of disagreement,
Oh,
which is good.
100%.
Like that's good. That's good.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, and I think the only time we've ever really agreed on something is like Battlefront Classic Collection
yes,
and quite literally maybe
handle.
Andor, yeah.
Yeah.
As positive and or Rogue One, yeah. Straight up positives.
Yeah.
Up.
Look, I mean, I don't care. Like single me out. I don't care.
Mhm.
Just yeah, I'm providing an answer to your question, I suppose.
But yes, so this will this is your last podcast, isn't it, with
This
us?
is my last one, guys,
Yeah.
which is
For how long
very
again?
unfortunate. Um, a while,
Yeah.
a couple of months. So
So I'll try to hold down the fort, people on the live stream and watching the video later.
mm,
Probably won't be as long in terms of our content because having two people means discussions go longer. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I mean,
yeah,
we do have some videos planned. We got one in the bank that's been itching to come out in terms of what's relevant at the time. I'm
yeah.
hoping that something gets announced soon
Mhm,
around the lines of that.
mhm, mhm.
But yes, Cooper will be on a fun trip whilst I'll be here stuck in the workroom, I guess you could say.
What a funny way to describe that.
The mail room.
Oh, Alcosaurus, you're too kind. Thank you so much. We
Very kind.
appreciate all the input you guys. We appreciate all the input you guys have like put in the recent live streams. It's been good. Like we obviously enjoy
Mm.
doing these, and then having the input is yeah, appreciated. Makes it more lively, makes it a lot more fun. And you know, we're not the biggest channel in the world, but
No.
we have the charisma, we have the opinions to
Hmm.
rival the big ones. But yeah, we'll
We
get
hope.
there eventually. But
Mm.
yes, I'm taking a hiatus, and
Yep.
I am very grateful for Jack for
Mm.
doing what he's doing. So yeah,
Yeah,
stay
well,
tuned, subscribe.
I'll try and get some more saucy, interesting things. Who knows? Might get an older patron subscriber or something on. We'll have to wait and see what's cooking in the room, I guess you could say.
Cook it in the room, in the room that you're
In
in,
the workroom, yeah.
in the workroom.
I don't know. We'll figure out something. But also, don't forget, guys, this channel has now. We used to be called Coruscant Nights, but now we're beyond Coruscant because we are not
Yeah,
just
definitely.
focusing on Star Wars content. Lately, we have been doing Star Wars content as our sole kind of thing, but that's because of Andor, recent announcements, and obviously wanting to update tier lists. So, yeah, I might be starting to do more because you'll be gone when Fantastic Four
And Superman, yeah.
and Superman
And
come out,
Jurassic World, yep.
and Jurassic World. Oh,
And
you know.
Oh no, Karate Kid's out now.
Karate Kid's out now. I'm probably gonna see. I want to see Karate Kid, but I've been seeing some absolute horrific reviews.
Not great.
But I'll still go.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do a review on Karate Kid. I want to watch the new Ballerina movie, which is
Oh, yeah,
the
John Wick.
John Wick universe.
Mhm.
And so those are the two that I'm planning on seeing next week.
Mhm.
Also, getting my hands on the Switch 2, which I might do a Mario Kart World video on.
Do an unboxing.
I would do an unboxing, Cooper, but I'm not very good at making unboxings look good.
What do you mean?
um,
I think the ones look great. The Pokemon ones are fantastic.
Yeah, that Pokemon one was a great unboxing. By the way, guys, if any of you guys in the Alcosaurus or Sleep like Pokemon unboxings, check out the channel. I thought I did an amazing. Not that well, who knows? I might have pulled something good. We don't we don't know. But the like I liked how I did that video. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do want to do a Mario Kart World. I might even do a fun little Grand Prix or Knockout Tour, which is a new game mode in it. So
Mhm.
yeah, so we'll get some more what's it called? Diverse content
I
whilst
like
Cooper
that.
is away because things are coming out seemingly wintertime for us
Mhm.
here. So
Mhm.
we got Superman, which I'm extremely excited for, Fantastic Four, which apparently has had some early test screening stuff. Have you heard about? Have you seen them?
I have not.
Do you want to know?
No,
You don't want to know a thing?
no.
Can I not tell you one thing? It's not really related at all
Is
to
it
the
gonna
plot.
spoil it for the lovely people in the chat as well?
Nah.
Okay, all right, fine.
Ralph Ifians is terrifying as Galactus, apparently.
That sounds like such a critic thing to say.
It does. But I mean, I would be too if a man could shrink and also grow to be able to eat a whole world. So
That's fair enough.
it's valid. But yeah, I'm really excited for those two movies coming out, and I think we have golden age of comic book movies coming out now. So I'm really excited. Have you also seen the behind the scenes of Doomsday? Like the photos?
I saw one of a couple of the actors sitting in chairs, but that's it.
So yeah, I saw there's a photo of like Namor, Tenok, and M'Baku, Winston, with his he looked like he has staff on and stuff. They're shooting in Bahrain right now. So
Okay.
interesting. So yeah, I mean, we got some really cool content coming out, which Cooper, I mean, if you're still able to, you can send even a video clip and I can add it
Yeah.
in if you want. I don't
Yeah.
know. Are you even going to be able to watch movies over there?
Yeah, I'll go to a cinema. I'll watch Fantastic Four.
Hell yeah. So even like do like a out of theater video and I'll whack it, I'll tack it on at the front or whatever in the video and then boom, you're still with us in presence. So
Yay.
yeah, that'll be good.
On but not forgotten.
Yes,
Oh, and I
exactly.
shouldn't say that. Shouldn't say that.
Wait, what? No, no, yeah, come back, man.
Leaving but not forgotten. No, no, that sounds
No,
worse.
that's bad. Don't even
Um,
just end it. End it.
yep, done.
Done.
All
Thanks
right, I
everyone
think
for
that's it. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, I won't catch you, but Jack certainly will. And yeah,
Mhm.
thanks for everything. Appreciate it.